Welcome to Reddit Echoes, where real-life stories from Reddit are told with honesty, drama, and sometimes make you laugh or shiver. In today's video, we'll hear dating stories full of drama moments of brutal honesty that got the main characters mercilessly blocked, misunderstood, or even unfairly labeled. If you ever thought dating was all sunshine and rainbows, then you definitely haven't seen this video yet. Buckle up because these stories will take you on an emotional roller coaster full of surprises. Story 1. I'm the catch, and you better recognize that I thought I'd encountered every type of man out there until I matched with Mr. I'm the Catch on a dating app. And when I say the catch, I mean it according to him. According to me, he was the kind of self-obsessed narcissist that could make Narcissus himself cringe. It started off normal. He messaged me, "Let's exchange numbers or something." I replied politely, "Hi, thanks. I'd prefer to chat in the app until we have plans to meet." You know, reasonable. A little boundary for safety. But no. Not with Lord Alpha of the land of ego. He immediately blew up, "Nah, I'm the man. I already made the initiative to reach out to you. I respected you enough and gave you access to match with me." Excuse me? Gave me access? What is this, a visa interview for the kingdom of him? But wait, it gets worse. This ain't a one-sided ball-in-your-court deal. I'm not jumping through hoops to get to know you. Plus, look at me and look at you. And I actually did look at myself in the mirror. I looked fine wearing a green tea face mask, living my peaceful little life. But apparently in his universe, there was only one visual that mattered, and that was him. Then he said it. "I'm the catch, not you. If I had $1 every time a man told me he was the catch, I'd have enough money to buy a private island where no one's allowed to speak unless they have emotional intelligence and working brain cells." And then came the grand finale. "I'm a very successful, beautiful, tall, endowed man, not into time wasters like you. You should go engage with low vibrational people like yourself." Ah, yes. I wasn't vibrating on the right frequency. Apparently mine was sane, calm, and replies like a normal person. His was treat women like waitstaff and demand immediate submission. A few minutes later, I got a notification. This user's profile is no longer available. Guess he got banned. Maybe the app doesn't support delusions of grandeur and passive-aggressive monologues. Who knew? Have you ever met someone who's so confident you can't tell if they're delusional or if there's actually a whole stadium cheering them on every morning? Someone who thinks just because they have a job, some height, and aren't hideous, women should line up for a turn. This guy was the walking embodiment of a nice guy, TM, but the dangerous flavor. Not the "I'm so nice, and women never choose me" type, but the "I'm nice because I think I'm entitled to your devotion" kind. And the worst part? He's not alone. There's a whole species of these guys who think that if they believe they're special, you should too. I don't hate confidence. But confidence doesn't mean insulting someone when things don't go your way. If you find yourself writing a 5-paragraph essay about how amazing you are and how a woman owes you a chance, you're not the catch. You're the returned package demanding a 5-star review. And to this guy, if you're out there, I truly hope you find someone who resonates with your frequency, or at least a mirror that reflects every layer of your painfully obvious delusion. Story 2. He protected me. By texting. Like he was in the FBI. I used to think I was pretty patient when it came to dating. But this guy, he tested my tolerance like I was on a game show called "How Long Can You Last with a Walking Red Flag?" It all started innocently enough. We matched on a dating app. He seemed all right. Kind of funny. Used punctuation, which already puts him in the top 50% of male profiles, let's be honest. I was getting ready for my best friend's birthday party when he messaged, "Oh, cool. You on the way to a party?" I replied, "Yeah, I'm just getting ready now. Simple casual. No big deal, right?" But then he goes, "Have fun then. If only I was in town. Ha ha. I could have joined you. Still kinda cute." I appreciated the interest. Then I put my phone down to do the whole hair, makeup, dress ritual. You know, being a woman takes actual effort. When I picked my phone back up, Boom. 6 unread messages. How's the party? Huh. Can you reply to my texts? Huh. You just going to ghost me? What are you wearing? I didn't even know where to start. But what I did know, something felt off. So I replied politely, "Hey, I wasn't on my phone. I'm at a party. Not like I have to answer instantly." Want to guess how he responded? "I'm not saying you have to be on your phone. Just answer when I text you. It's not that hard." Oh, not that hard, huh? What if I'm mid-karaoke belting out Bohemian Rhapsody? Am I supposed to leap off stage mid-Galileo just to text back BRB replying to FBI agent in training? So I calmly told him I wasn't comfortable with how controlling this felt, especially since we'd only been texting for, like, 3 hours. And he hit me with, "I'm not being pushy. I'm just worried about you, babe. You're at a party without me. I don't want anything to happen to you. Babe, sir, we've been talking for 3 hours. And when I say talking, I mean I replied a few times while he live texted like a sports commentator on Red Bull. That's when I unmatched. No warning, no explanation, just poof. I don't know what makes some men think texting you non-stop is how you show you care. Here's the truth. Caring isn't demanding instant responses like you're calling customer service. I call it instant response syndrome, TM, where any delay over 5 minutes, betrayal. And they always start with, "I'm not controlling," followed immediately by, "Where are you? What are you wearing? Who's around you?" Real concern is, did you get home safe? Not, which shoes? Who looked at you? Are they taller than me? Here's the lesson. If someone makes you feel like you owe them a reply, and you haven't even met, dated, or shared anything personal, that's not concern. That's camouflaged control. And I know the type. The ones who cry women don't appreciate good guys anymore. No, we do. You're just not one of them. You're a walking panic alert triggered by someone taking longer than 2 minutes to respond. So if you're watching this video and you're babe Jubber 100 of the week, run. Don't look back. And if he messages again, just send him a screenshot of the block button. With punctuation. Story 3. He invited me to sing at a wedding. Nope, he wanted me to sing in his bedroom. I'm a freelance singer, and like any young artist, I've clawed my way through every gig to make a living. But not everyone respects that, and not every invitation is about the music. A few months ago, I got a message on Instagram from a random guy. He wrote, "Hey, I was at your gig in Cuopo a few months back. Really liked your sound. Do you do private gigs?" I was excited, thought I had just scored another gig. So I replied professionally, "Hi, thank you so much, I really appreciate it. I do. What kind of event are we talking about, and when I already have a few wedding gigs booked next month?" Clear. Professional. Just someone trying to pay her bills by singing, right? But then, he replied, "You're so beautiful." Didn't answer my question. Didn't mention the event. Just swerved straight into talking about my appearance. Still, I tried to keep it on track, so, about the event. And then he hit me with, "Haha. It's not really an event. I was thinking just you and me at my place. Some wine. Some good food. You're so beautiful and fun, and it'd be an honor to get to know you better." Did he just try to book me for a date? I replied very directly, "Thanks for the offer, but I'll pass." And that's when the nice guy mask came crashing off. Why, you would love it. I promise. But I understand. You're a beautiful woman, and I'm just a nobody. Classic guilt trip mode. But when he realized I wasn't falling for it, suddenly the "I'm your fan" vibe turned into, "To me, what you're offering sounds more like a date than a gig. I appreciate your kindness, but I do music for work. I take it very seriously. Plus, I'm interested in someone already." And then, boom. I should have known. "You just think you're too good for me, you effing bitch." Yep. From admirer to rage-fueled insult machine in under 30 seconds. You're interested but not dating. Then he doesn't cherish and love you like a lady should be treated. Oh, great. Now he's giving me a TED Talk on love. But no wonder, since you're just a dumb grunt who doesn't know what's best for her. And finally, I ain't interested anymore. Go be a war and wonder why your life is garbage. Kill yourself. Right. He's not interested anymore, but apparently still has time to send a whole essay telling me to unalive myself. This script, I've seen it before, more than once. A man approaches politely, but the second you don't give him exactly what he wants, he flips. He degrades you, insults you, calls you a stuck-up bitch. And in extreme cases like this one, it turns into threats and abuse. What scares me isn't this message. It's the fact that this isn't rare. Some men can't tell the difference between admiration and entitlement. They think if they compliment you enough, you owe them something. A date, a smile, a night. And when they don't get it, they shatter like a dropped mirror and every shard is sharp. Here's what I've learned. Thank you doesn't mean I want to date you. I'm working isn't an insult. And no is a complete sentence. So to all the fans like him out there, if you're going to invite me to sing, make sure there's a stage, a contract, and a security team. Because I'm not showing up in your bedroom. Story 4. I just asked a question and got threatened with an IP trace. I don't know if I accidentally became part of some social experiment, but what happened after one random Reddit DM has me convinced the universe is absolutely trolling me. It started when I got a private message from a total stranger. Hey, been following you for a while. You posted some photos on that fashion sub. You're cute, LOL. I normally don't slide into DMs, but you're a special case. Okay, not the worst opener. I've gotten a few messages like that before, polite, mildly flirty, nothing too off. Then he added, let me introduce myself. I'm a 33-year-old man, lead software engineer at Redacted in San Francisco. You can see my posts, LOL, I'm not lying. Basically, it sounded like a job interview, like he was pitching himself. And he even threw in a, I'm not lying for good measure, red flag number 1. Then came this line. I'm half black, half white, light-skinned. The good brown, not the Indian one. Excuse me, I'm Indian. And this man just said the good brown isn't the Indian kind. At that point, I stayed quiet. I didn't respond. I just wanted to see how far he'd go. Spoiler, pretty far. After a few hours of silence, he hit me again. Harder this time. Hey, I can see you're being active. Why don't you reply now? You have time to post, but not reply to me. You realize I can track your IP, right? Yup. From, hey, I'm a software engineer. I'm casually racist. I'll track your IP if you don't talk to me. Was I supposed to say, OMG, please take me now? Mr. Hacker of my heart. Nope. I just blocked him. Because at that point, it wasn't a flirty stranger, it was a potential threat. The nice guy mask slips off real quick. The worst part isn't the compliment, not the awkward flirting, not even the spammy messages. It's the performance of being a good guy. They build a persona good job, educated, funny, not like those other bad guys out there. But the second you don't respond when they want, they call you basic, tell you you don't appreciate good men, and then threaten you with whatever tech skills they think they have. Oh, and let's not forget the good brown comment, which was both offensive and idiotic. The block was immediate and final. I blocked him, but a few days later another account messaged me. I was just trying to get to know you. You didn't have to be so rude. No, I wasn't rude. I was protecting myself. If you think that not replying fast enough means a woman owes you something, you're not a nice guy who got rejected. You're a dangerous man who doesn't understand boundaries. If someone opens with, I'm not like other guys, they usually are. If someone brings up your IP address, ethnicity, or career as a threat, block. No follow-up, no guilt. And if you're Indian like me and someone tells you your skin tone isn't the good brown, laugh loudly. Then delete them from your life, like clearing your browser cache. Story 5. I've got a truck, my dad's house, and a theory on why no one wants to date me. You ever feel like you have it all? Like you're looking at your life thinking, I've got a good job, a car, a house, decent looks. So, Why am I still single? Welcome to my 3-month journey through the wasteland that is modern dating, a place I thought would be a cakewalk, but turned out to be a cold slap of reality. I'm a 36-year-old man recently out of an 8-year relationship. Don't ask about the breakup long story. Just know I stepped back into the dating scene full of hope and clearly defined standards. I've got a stable job. I go to the gym not to flex, but to stay healthy. I dress clean, casual, but sharp. No debt. I drive a Toyota Tacoma 4X4. I live less than 10 minutes from downtown. Okay, technically my dad owns the house. And yeah, I have a roommate. But hey, everyone shares expenses these days, right? I honestly thought women would flock to me. And when I say flock, I mean like pigeons to breadcrumbs. Instead, crickets. Deserted wasteland. Where are all the hot girls? 3 months passed. I matched with a few women. One looked promising. We went out a couple of times. Then boom, after the second sleepover at my place, she ghosted. No explanation, just vanished. I didn't get it. I treated her well. I bought dinner. I even turned on Netflix with subtitles. But no, she said we weren't a match. Then came a streak of matching with women who weren't exactly my type. Sorry if that sounds harsh, but they were below my standards. And I have a right to have standards, don't I? I started feeling defeated. But then I noticed a pattern. The really attractive women, the ones I'm into, never replied. Or they'd send 1 or 2 messages and disappear. The average ones always had some excuse not to meet. And so I started wondering, is there something wrong with American women? Now, I'm not trying to blame anyone, but let's be real. Social media has warped their brains. They want the top 5% of men but won't look in the mirror. They think a guy like me with a house okay, my dad's a car, a job isn't good enough, or maybe it's the birth control, or hormones, or 5G messing with their brains. I know it sounds crazy, but when you keep getting rejected by women you think are on your level, you start asking questions. So I made a decision. If I'm not appreciated here, I'll look elsewhere. I Googled where to find sweet traditional women with less drama. Top results: Eastern Europe, blue eyes, blonde hair values, Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Philippines, where women are gentle and caring, South America, Argentina, Costa Rica. I even speak Spanish. They don't care how many followers I have. They won't roast my truck. They don't expect me to be a CEO just to be worth dating. You might think I'm just a nice guy, TM, who got hurt. I'm not. I'm a high-value man stuck in a dating market that's broken. American women aren't what they used to be. They don't want connection. They want Instagram likes and online validation. I'm not bitter. I'm just choosing to find love where I'm respected. Final thoughts. I've got everything except a girlfriend, but I'm not going to beg someone to see my worth. I'll take my heart to a place where it'll be understood and appreciated. So to all the ladies still chasing brainless hot guys, good luck. When you snap out of it, I'll be living in Dalat, Vietnam, sipping coffee, eating pho, and kissing my loving wife who actually knows how to love back. Story 6. I just wanted dinner. He thought I wanted marriage. There are times you go out thinking it's just a regular night. 2 adults, a nice chat, grabbing dinner, normal, right? And yet, somehow it turns into a psychological interrogation from the Twilight Zone. I didn't think I'd need a lawyer, a witness, and a priest performing an exorcism just to turn down an invite to a man's living room. But here we are. We met on a dating app. He seemed okay, polite, said he liked to paint, came across as sincere. When we discussed meeting up, I offered, I really like eating out. Maybe Thai Japanese, something I can manage with my allergies. Seems reasonable, right? I even suggested a few spots. There's this place called Momi Japanese Fusion I absolutely love. Tasty, easy to track ingredients, super important when you have dietary restrictions. And he goes, why don't you just come over to my place? I politely declined. I've been stuck inside for weeks finishing art commissions. I really want to get out, breathe a bit, enjoy a nice meal. And then he snaps. Oh, so you're scared to come to my house? You think I'm going to rape you or something? That was the very next message. I just sat there, frozen. Not kidding. From reasonable guy to emotional landmine in under 5 seconds because I didn't want to eat in his kitchen. I stayed calm and replied, "No, I just prefer eating out. I don't feel comfortable going to a stranger's home on a first date, especially with my food allergies. I even offered to pay for my own meal just to avoid the who's paying drama. Didn't matter. Inviting you to my home is the highest form of honor. And you just imagine disgusting things in your head. You insulted me. Talking about money like I'm some cheapskate, you're clearly not worthy. Do not message me again." Oh, so I insulted him by not wanting to eat spaghetti in a stranger's living room, apparently suggesting a public dinner makes me morally corrupt and sexist against men. I took a screenshot and sent it to my best friend. Her response, girl: "You need to bring holy water and a demon slayer to your next date. That guy's soul is glitching." The thing is, this wasn't the first time I've dealt with this kind of man. The ones who introduce themselves as nice, respectful, not like the others. But the second you draw a basic boundary, they implode like a dying star and start calling you garbage. I don't know if he was actually dangerous, but the moment someone reacts to a boundary with guilt-tripping insults and emotional manipulation, that's a full-blown red flag parade. I blocked him. Then, I got an email from a backup account. Wanna guess what it said? "I thought you were different. But you're just like the rest, toxic, afraid, and ugly on the inside. You'll grow old with your allergic little belly and no one to love you. Sir, you're acting like I turned down a wedding proposal, not your cluttered living room." The lesson: women aren't being mean or judgmental when they say no to coming to a stranger's house on a first date. They're being safe. And the guys who act like rejection is an insult, who lash out with guilt trips and threats. They're not nice, they're just good at pretending long enough to sneak past your boundaries. All I wanted was dinner. He turned it into some weird test of morality, gratitude, and why women like me deserve to be alone. Guess what, though? I did have dinner. With my best friend. A table full of sashimi. We laughed until we cried over that ridiculous email. I don't need a man to tell me I'm worthy of respect. I already know that. Story 7. I don't date married people, but he got divorced in 23 minutes. I used to believe that if you're upfront and honest about your boundaries, people would respect them. But the internet, especially dating apps, loves proving me wrong. This story started pretty simple. I matched with someone named Tiffany. Yes, that was the name he used on his profile, not his real name. And right away, something smelled off. Like emotional catfishing. After a few polite messages, I asked, just to confirm, "You're married, right?" His response, "Yeah, guess we're not a match. Good luck with your research, LOL. I replied nicely, "Totally fine. I just have a personal boundary. I don't get involved with people who are taken. End of story, right, wrong." 23 minutes later, he comes back. "Okay, I'm divorced now. I'm sorry. What, you finalized your entire marriage in under half an hour? What did you Uber Eats a divorce?" I typed back slowly. You just said you were married." He replied, "I only said that because I thought you were into taking women. No drama, no strings." Oh, cool. So he thought I was, what, a professional side chick. Not a person with, standards. I politely declined and explained I've been involved with someone married before. It really hurt me emotionally. I don't want to go through that again. Want to guess what he said next? Wow. "You're just as crazy as the rest of them. Typical. Always blaming others when you're the one who picked those men. Why not admit you're dumb, or were you just turned on when someone said married women are hotter?" I wish I were joking. This man actually blamed me for not wanting to date him, a married guy. All I did was state a healthy boundary. All he did was shove right past it and try to spin it like I was the unhinged one. I still tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's hurt. Maybe he's spiraling. Maybe he needs help. Nope. He didn't need help. He needed control. Women these days are too sensitive, weak, Rude. One comment and they bolt like nothing ever happened. You're a perfect example of the toxic system men like me are trapped in. I'm sorry. I'm the toxic system. Because I didn't want to date a man who got divorced 23 minutes ago on a dating app. At this point, I didn't even feel angry anymore. I felt sad. Not for him, but for the women who've fallen for this kind of guy. The ones who pretend to be nice wounded just looking for honesty. But deep down, they have zero respect for boundaries, women, or most importantly, the truth. Before I blocked him, I sent one last message. I'm not here to protect you from other women. I'm here to protect myself from men like you. He saw it. He typed, and then said nothing. I imagine he changed his profile again. Probably now says divorced for 12 years or single, not looking for anything serious. The lesson. No one owes anyone the benefit of the doubt, especially when they're rewriting their life story in real time just to get a date. If someone can't respect your why, they don't deserve to be part of your life. And if someone tells you they just got divorced after you turned them down, do what I did. Close the app, lock the door, pour a glass of wine, and laugh. Story 8. I sent one emoji, and he reacted like I killed his mother. Let me start this story with a warning. If you're the type of person who uses emojis to lighten the mood, proceed with caution. Because for some people, emojis aren't cute little graphics, they're full-on personal attacks. I matched with this guy on Tinder. Seemed normal. His bio said, looking for honest conversations, music lovers, and people who keep it real. Cool. I'm pretty easy to talk to. So I messaged first. Hey, what kind of music do you usually listen to? He replied, a bunch of stuff. I'll think and get back to you. A bit busy RN. Fair enough. So I responded, okay, take your time. And just like that, hell opened up. He read the message, didn't reply. 3 minutes later, typing, that emoji, what's that supposed to mean? I thought he was joking. So I replied, which one? The smiley sweat. Yeah, that one. What are you laughing at? Are you laughing at me? I was being serious and you send that? You mocking me? I froze. Like what? No, not at all. I use it just to make convos lighter. I use it all the time. I didn't mean anything by it. But that was just fuel to his emotional fire. I don't like being laughed at. That emoji is clearly sarcastic. You think I'm some kind of joke? And then I kid you not, he started ranting like I'd insulted his ancestors. You think everyone loves emojis. You use them like punctuation, but I find them disrespectful. I'm not some clown for you to slap a smiley face on. At this point, I really wanted to say, sir, it's an emoji, not a nuclear weapon. But I stayed polite. I'm sorry if you misunderstood. I genuinely meant no offense. I think we're not a communication match, so I'll go ahead and unmatch. That should have been the end of it. It was not. He went nuclear. Of course, all you girls are the same. None of you take responsibility for your words. I don't need someone like you. All fake. Hiding behind emojis to cover your stupidity. So yeah, I unmatched immediately. But wait, 3 hours later I get a DM on Instagram. Yes, Instagram. How did he find me? No idea. Maybe I had the same profile pic. Maybe he's an elite-level emoji tracker. Who knows his IG message? I just wanted to see what kind of person you were. Turns out you're exactly the type. Shallow and fake. I'm not even mad, sir. You're literally mad enough to hunt me down on another app. Over an emoji. At that point, I learned a very valuable lesson. Not everyone deserves an emoji. Some people don't need a girlfriend. They need a therapist. And suddenly his Tinder bio made perfect sense. Not into drama. Turns out, he was the drama. A single emoji triggered a full-scale emotional meltdown. I told this story to my friends. One of my guy friends doubled over laughing and said, if he saw the emoji, he'd probably call the cops. Moral of the story. Not all emojis are harmless. But if someone feels personally victimized by The problem isn't the emoji, it's them. And if they can't handle a light chuckle through a screen, just imagine what they'd do during a real-life disagreement. Block, unmatch. Escape faster than this emoji. Story 9. I shared my playlist. And she said I was racist. I swear sometimes a normal date can spiral into a spaghetti plate of drama faster than you can say Spotify. I'm a pretty chill guy. I love music peace and the belief that if you're upfront and honest with people, you avoid most of the nonsense. Wrong. So wrong. I matched with this girl on a dating app. She looked cute, curly hair, artsy indie vibe. We met for coffee on a Sunday afternoon. It started out great. She liked painting. I mentioned I play guitar. After our second cup of cold brew, I pulled out my phone and played her a few of my solo recordings, a John Mayer cover, a bit of Radiohead. She seemed to be enjoying it until she frowned. So, you only listen to white guys? I blinked. Sorry, what's your music? All white male artists. Doesn't that tell you something? I thought she was joking. Oh no, I also listen to H.E.R. Alicia Keys, even Bad Bunny sometimes. I just played a few tracks I've been practicing. It's not just about today. I'm talking about your whole vibe, your taste, your musical heroes. They're all white dudes. That says a lot. Ah, yes. Apparently, my love for the guitar is now a racial indictment. I tried to tread lightly. I think everyone has personal taste. My playlists have Lauryn Hill, Prince, Janelle Monáe, Frank Ocean. But not today. Today, when you had a chance to introduce yourself musically, you chose whiteness. You know, I once dated a guy like that. Turned out he was a covert misogynist with daddy issues. Right? So now I'm being compared to her toxic ex-boyfriend because I played an Eric Clapton riff. I calmly replied, I don't think there's anything wrong with appreciating music based on sound and lyrics, not race. Exactly. Because you never have to think about race. That's white privilege. So now I'm being criticized for not actively filtering my music through a racial lens. At this point, I could see the writing on the wall. She stood up, looked at me like I'd just confessed to war crimes, and said, I can't date someone who lacks social awareness. Art reflects oppression, and all you see is guitar solos. Then she walked out. I was left sitting there holding my half-drunk cold brew, wondering what just happened. 2 days later, she messages me. You're the kind of man who never owns his mistakes. White men always think they're right. But women like me were done staying silent. I'm actually considering contacting the venues where you play. Excuse me. I'm a freelance guitarist. I play at a couple of coffee shops, and she was threatening to ruin my gigs. Because of a playlist, I responded with one line, please block me. Thanks. Then I blocked her right after. But I couldn't shake the sheer absurdity of that encounter. Final thoughts. I've heard the phrase, don't date someone so woke they drown in their own wokeness. I thought I was meeting a cool, independent, artsy girl. Instead, I met the playlist racial purity inspector ready to cancel your existence if your Spotify isn't diverse enough. Next time someone asks what music I listen to, I'm just gonna say I only listen to birds chirping and ocean waves. No race, no drama. Story 10. She wanted to come to my place. I suggested a restaurant. Suddenly, I was a potential threat. I always thought inviting someone to dinner after a decent amount of chatting was a perfectly normal thing to do. But we now live in an age where everyone has their own red flag radar, and apparently, being a polite guy who loves food somehow makes me a potential predator. Nope. I'm not making this up, so I matched with this girl, Anna. Her profile said she loved art painting and had a passion for cuisine. We texted for a week, great conversations. I told her about my job as a designer. She told me about her mural project for a local gallery. Turns out we both love Thai food. I thought, cool, solid start. So I messaged her. If you like Thai, have you ever tried Momi? One of the best Thai spots in Seattle? Chill vibe killer red curry? She replied, I have some food allergies, so I like to pick the spot. But Momi sounds great. I'm thinking, yes, direct communicative, love that. But then, she sends another message. Why don't we just do dinner at your place? I can cook. It's more intimate, less hassle. I politely declined. I really appreciate the offer, but to be honest, I prefer eating out. I wouldn't want to mess up your food preferences, and honestly, I think going out would be more fun. Seems reasonable, right? Wrong. The next message hit like a frying pan to the head. Oh, I see. You think I'd attack you, huh? Or you think I'll do something to you? I was like, wait, what? No, not at all. I just wanted to make sure you got to enjoy the food, and I personally find dining out easier. But then came the real storm. It's disgusting how you men assume things about women. I invite you into my home, a gesture of trust, and you treat it like I'm some threat. You're clearly one of those guys who sees women as dangerous. Do you realize how offensive that is, to suggest that women like me are some kind of potential harm just for wanting an intimate setting? I was stunned. I didn't know what to say. I was just trying to be respectful. Still, I stayed calm. I'm really sorry if that made you uncomfortable. But I swear I wasn't assuming anything. I just wanted you to be comfortable too. And then she sent a full-blown thesis. Like Instagram would have to break it into multiple stories long. Women have suffered enough. Your avoidance is a form of microaggression, rejecting an invitation based on gender bias. Men like you always need to control the environment, always choosing public places so you feel safe, while women are the ones being hurt on the streets. At this point, I nearly fell off my chair. Lady, I'm not avoiding you because you're a woman. I just didn't want to be doing dishes at 10 p.m. on a first date. A few minutes later, the final message came. I don't want to continue with someone who fears women. Don't message again. I'm reporting your Hinge profile. I just sat there, reporting me for not wanting a home-cooked first date, reflection corner. Here's what I learned. I didn't reject her. I rejected the idea of going to someone's house on the very first date. And for that, I got labeled as misogynistic, afraid of women, and gender-biased. Every time I try to approach dating with respect and sincerity, it feels like if you don't say yes fast enough, you get tossed into the bad guy category, or worse, you're weak, scared, or secretly problematic. Should I even keep dating? Or should I just start a podcast called I Just Wanted Dinner, where I talk about all the times I got accused of being a Netflix documentary villain just because I didn't want to host dinner at home? Story 11. She said she was single, then got divorced in 23 minutes. Look, I'm not someone who judges people too quickly. But if you tell me you're single, and then 23 minutes later say, okay, I'm divorced now, I'm sorry, that's not judgment. That's you confessing to chaos. So here's how it went down. I signed up for Sugarbook. Yes, that Sugarbook, the one where love meets finance. I didn't join because I was desperate. A friend sent me the link saying I should level up my dating game. And me, being both curious and kind of lonely, created a profile. And somehow, I matched with someone named Tiffany. She was stunning, charming, and most importantly, she claimed she was single. Just to be sure, I asked, just so we're clear, you're single, right? Her reply, totally, babe. Single as a bird in the sky. Well, okay then, let's fly. We chatted for a few days. Honestly, I started liking her. She was funny, sharp, emotionally aware, the kind of woman who seems to get you. I was getting ready to suggest we meet in person when she dropped this message out of nowhere. Actually, I'm still technically married, but it's just on paper. It's complicated. I'm dealing with it. I'm sitting there like, okay? She followed up, but if you're okay with that, I'd still really like to keep talking. I'm serious about this. I hesitated, but she sounded genuine. So I said, if you're working through it, we can keep things friendly and just see where it goes. That was me trying to be empathetic. And then, exactly 23 minutes later, I get this text. Okay, I'm divorced now. Want to go out? What, did I just miss a drive-through divorce? I asked. Wait, what do you mean? You got divorced in the last 23 minutes. Yeah, I signed the papers online. All done. I'm free now. I had to reboot my brain like a frozen laptop. I'm no legal expert, but I'm pretty sure divorce isn't Amazon Prime with same-day delivery. Something felt very wrong. So I asked, "So, you just signed today?" Nothing was in motion before this, right? I mean, there might be a few things. My ex doesn't really know yet. Oh, fantastic. A divorce that's official only in your mind. That's when I decided to put down a firm boundary. I'm not comfortable dating someone whose divorce just started and whose spouse doesn't even know. Her reply, "So you're saying I'm a bad woman?" No. I'm saying I need clarity. I'm not here for emotional landmines. Cue the emotional explosion. You're such a fake. At first you seemed kind and understanding. Now you're judging me. It's guys like you who make it hard for women to move on. Do you even know how beautiful I am? People would kill to date me. But I picked you because I thought you were different. She wasn't done. You just missed your chance. I'm blocking you. But first I'm reporting you to Sugarbook. Reporting me for what emotional damage? At this point I had nothing left to say. She blocked me before I could even hit send. But I did manage to get one last message out. Best of luck with your speed of light divorce. The takeaway. I don't care if someone's divorced. I don't hold someone's past against them. What I do care about is honesty, especially when I'm being invited into a drama where I don't even know what role I'm supposed to play. If this were a sitcom audition, maybe I'd lean in. But this is real life. So I chose to leave the scene, before I ended up as the guest star in a breakup that never officially started. Story 12. I said I didn't like tattoos. She told me to hang myself. I never thought a tiny personal opinion would lead to a woman I barely knew telling me I should kill myself. But hey, welcome to social media where unhinged doesn't need an invitation to show up at your door. I'm a pretty average guy. I live simply, I don't drink, I'm not into parties, and I don't have any tattoos. Not because I hate people who do. My best friend is tatted from neck to ankle. I've never judged. It's just not my thing. The whole mess started when I joined a church group and met this woman named Angela. She was in charge of the community outreach stuff, friendly, talkative, and apparently very forward. At first I thought she was just being enthusiastic for her role, but the messages quickly shifted from, "Can you help with the weekend food drive?" to, "What do you think about dating someone who's emotionally fragile?" What? One night she texted me, "What do you think about dating someone cute but a little broken?" I kept it polite. "I'm not really sure. We don't know each other that well." She replied with a winky face, "Well, I'm cute, a little broken, and I have 6 tattoos. You into tattooed girls? Still trying to keep it respectful?" I responded honestly. "Honestly, I'm not really into tattoos. Just a personal preference." And then, the train flew off the rails. What's that supposed to mean? I don't need your approval to have tattoos. I never said you did. I was just sharing a personal opinion. Yeah, but you not liking them is the same as judging people who have them. Not at all. My best friend is covered in ink. I just don't want them on me or to date someone who has a ton. It's just my taste. Your taste is bullsh. Men like you pretend to be saints, but deep down, you're full of judgment. I stared at my screen, stunned. A few minutes passed. Then she texted again. "Wow. You're such a conservative fake. I thought you were different. I was even planning to come over, but forget it." Hold up, come over to where we had never met in person. Never video called. Barely even texted for more than a week. Who gave you permission to start planning visits to my house? And then, the next message made my blood run cold. "You know what? You're absolutely useless. No one will ever love you like I could have. You should go hang yourself because nobody wants to live with a self-righteous piece of garbage like you." I froze. That wasn't just too much. That was dangerously unhinged. I blocked her immediately. 10 minutes later, new number. "Oh, so you blocked me. Thought you were a good guy. Turns out you're just a coward who can't handle the truth. You're nothing special. You'll die alone, and I hope you do. Blocked again. 5 minutes later, third number. Stop blocking me. I don't have many numbers left, but I'll use every single one to make sure you realize what you lost. I was about to block that one too. Then a number called me. No caller ID. I picked up. A woman's voice, low, furious, and whispering. You think you can escape consequences? That was it. The internal police sirens in my brain started wailing. I contacted the church group admins, sent them screenshots, and asked them to alert the community. She was removed from the group. But I still beefed up every privacy setting I could find on my phone, social media, and email. Because I never imagined that saying I'm not into tattoos could turn me into someone's obsession and target of emotional terrorism. The takeaway: not everyone who looks wholesome is mentally stable. And sometimes even the most gentle opinion can be twisted into a declaration of war. I don't hate people with tattoos. But now if anyone ever asks me what I think about tattoos, I'll say I once met a woman with 6 tattoos and 1 curse. Story 13. I sent an emoji. She reacted like I spit in her face. I never thought a single emoji specifically would cause a full-blown meltdown where someone essentially tried to erase me from the dating universe. But life is strange, and dating apps. They're where strange ideas gather, form cults, and come after your punctuation habits. So here's what happened. I matched with this woman on Hinge. She seemed cool, into indie music, liked deep conversations, and wrote in her profile, "I hate people who don't know how to communicate clearly." I figured that meant honesty, listening skills, maybe full sentences with actual grammar. Oh, how wrong I was. I started the chat simple. "Hey, what's your favorite music genre?" She responded super friendly a bunch, honestly. "Give me a sec and I'll send you a full list, haha." So I replied, "Take your time." Yes, that's it. Take your time, followed by the laughing, crying emoji. And then the emoji trial began. She messaged. "What's so funny?" I was confused. I thought she meant a song or something. So I asked, "Sorry, what do you mean?" And bam, she came in hot, that emoji. What's it supposed to mean? What are you laughing at? Still clueless. I answered gently, "Oh, it's nothing. I just use that emoji to keep things light. It's not literal, just habit." Now this should have cleared things up, right? Nope. She went off. "So what, you don't know how to end a sentence like a grown man? You need an emoji to communicate." That's childish. You're not serious. I was starting to realize I wasn't in a date anymore. I was in court being tried for emoji misuse in the first degree. Trying to stay chill, I said, "You don't like emojis, I just use them casually. I wasn't trying to offend you." Her reply, "So I'm offending you now. Wow," blaming me for having standards. Then it got personal. Guys like you pretend to be sweet but hide from emotional maturity behind cute symbols. Wait. What, I stopped responding. But she wasn't done. Minutes later, another barrage. "You think you're clever, huh? Laughing emoji at what exactly? Now you're silent, typical emotionally avoidant coward." I read the convo again and realized she was fighting with the emoji, not me. I blocked her. But then, she popped up on Instagram. Yeah, I left my IG link visible on Hinge. Rookie mistake. The message read, "So you blocked me. Typical coward. Using emojis to avoid serious conversations. Good luck finding some giggling bimbo who'll tolerate that. Oh, and by the way, you don't deserve love. You're the kind of man who ends sentences with a laughing face instead of a period." At this point, I seriously considered taking up meditation or learning Latin. Anything to cope. I blocked her again and hid my Hinge profile for a few days. The takeaway. What did I learn? Not everyone who says ha-ha is actually chill. Once clear communication might just mean follow the rules I made up in my head or else. And most importantly, emojis can kill a relationship before it even starts. Honestly, if she reacted like that to "I can't imagine what she'd do if I ended a sentence with," probably accuse me of mocking her ancestors. So yeah, folks, if you think emojis are harmless symbols, just remember me. The guy who got emotionally prosecuted for using a laughing face. Story 14. I invited her over for dinner. She thought I was a potential rapist waiting to strike. I swear only in this day and age can a simple dinner invite get twisted into some sinister sexual assault plot. No joke. This actually happened. And yes, I'm apparently a potential offender, just because I wanted to cook at home instead of dropping cash on sushi. So here's the setup. I met this woman on a dating app, let's call her Jenna. Jenna's into art, loves painting, and her profile clearly said, looking for a man who can cook and listen. Perfect, right? I'm a freelance chef currently off for 2 weeks to work on some personal projects. Seemed like a match made in heaven. We chatted for a few days, things were good, so I decided to invite her over for dinner. I texted, "Hey, I've got some free time and a few nice bottles of wine. Want to come over for dinner? I can cook Italian or Japanese." Her reply, "Wait, you want me to come to your house?" Yeah, I thought a cozy night in wine, home-cooked food, who wouldn't want that? But then the next message hit me like a slap. "Do you think I'm the kind of girl who would go to a strange man's house? I don't want to get raped." Excuse me? I panicked a little and tried to clarify. No, I didn't mean that at all. I just love to cook, and if you're not comfortable, we can totally eat out," she shot back. "So now you're flipping it. First you invite me into the wolf's den, then act all innocent wolf's den. We're talking about spaghetti and a bottle of red wine, right?" I sighed and texted, "Okay, I get it. If you don't want to, we can pick a restaurant you like. Any Japanese place you want." 10 minutes of silence then. Do you know rapists often pretend to be polite to lure women in? I was speechless. I didn't know what else to say. Blocking her would look like I'm dodging the issue. But continuing the conversation felt like being grilled for a crime I hadn't committed. I tried. "I'm really sorry if I made you uncomfortable. No hidden agenda here. I just thought dinner at home would be quieter and more relaxed." Her final text. "You're clearly manipulative. First you invite me over, then play the victim when I refuse. I wouldn't be surprised if you had a criminal record. And guess what? 3 hours later I got an email from Hinge. You've been reported for inappropriate behavior." Yep, she reported me. For inviting her to dinner. I'm not joking. I still have the messages to prove I didn't suggest anything beyond a nice meal. But the dating world now feels like a minefield. You can be labeled a creep just for knowing how to cook. The takeaway. This story taught me a few things. Never invite anyone to your home, even if you're a Michelin chef. A simple dinner invite can be twisted into a rape plot if the other person lives in a paranoid fantasy world. And most importantly, if a woman calls you a rapist in disguise, don't waste time trying to convince her otherwise. Block, change your number, move houses if you have to. Honestly, I wish I had just said, "Fine, we'll eat out," but you're paying because you clearly control this whole date. But I didn't. I was foolish enough to still hope for humanity. Big mistake. Thank you all for following today's surprising and often hilarious dating drama stories on Reddit Echoes. If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to like, comment, to share your own experiences, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the latest videos. And remember, sometimes honesty in love is a double-edged sword, but at least it helps us stay true to ourselves. See you next time with more stories where the drama never seems to cool down.